Guys, today we are making palm oil soup, and this is my biggest pot of palm oil soup yet. I normally make small batches, so I'm really hoping that this comes out well, because whenever I make those small batches, they be so good. They be really good. So, and one thing I've noticed is if you are familiar with making small batches of soup and then suddenly you decide to make a big batch, sometimes you might not get it just right as get this as right as those small batches. But I am really taking my time with this palm oil, and I've been very patient with it. One thing I want to tell you is I didn't add any additional water to this. This is just all the water that came from the meat, onions and peppers and everything. Because this is palm oil soup, so it's supposed to be oily. It's not supposed to be like pepper soup, so you definitely don't want to cook it with too much water, and you do not want to leave too much water on it. The palm oil you add should be just enough based on the size of your pot, your onions, your peppers, and your meat. Do not overdo it, and do not do too little, because if you do too little, you're going to have very little soup. And you might just end up with just a pot full of meat. So, but not too much water, okay? All right, so for this pot, I have different type of meats. I have chicken, I have crab, I have beef, I have shrimps, I have some dry fish, and then lastly, I'm going to be adding some microfish at the end. Let's see what else. I have a little bit of pig foot in there as well. I think there is some type of rib meat that I bought from this store. I'm not exactly sure, but it's some type of meat. I do not have an issue with it. I love it. I added in there. And then I added some spinach. I just, just to have something a little bit in there. I like to add some green in there. And I already started doing this, adding spinach because of my daughter, just to get her to eat some greens and stuff like that. But it turned out to be like a really good addition, so I've been adding it to my palm oil soup. And this was just very little that I had left over from the last time I cooked or spinach, so I just added that. And I can tell you that this pot came out really great. I think one of the best thing that I did was not adding any additional water to it, even though it was a big pot. So I'm satisfied, and once I plated everything up in these bowls, it wasn't like too much oil. Definitely was not too much oil, and I also didn't see like any water sitting on it, because after you put the oil on it, you wanted to cook a little bit. Because it's palm oil soup. Don't forget the name. All right, so that is it, guys. This is gonna be the soup for the week. I know I'm gonna make some other foods, but this is gonna be the main dish. Bye.